The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Now up to bat. Who's hot and who's not? This
LJ, I've always wanted. So I just wanted to ask, when you're doing this, who's hot, who's not, you're more so looking at teams rather than individual performances, correct?
I'm more so talking about that. I love an open segment. This is our takes moment. This is freewheeling takes. Doesn't necessarily have to be about the sale or fully about the sale. What is on your mind? Who's been hot, Brandon?
It's when you're looking through like teams' records in the last 10 games, LJ, there is only one team who is 8-2 or better, and that's Tampa. Other than that, I see a whole bunch of mid. I see a lot of 6-4, a few 7-3 sprinkled in there.
I see a whole lot of ho boy.
Yeah, I see a whole lot of what are we doing here? But I guess a team that I'll say is hot is Atlanta. 6 in a row now, 7 of their last 10, and another big series versus San Diego. Remember, they already played San Diego earlier in the season. I think that was our first or second live stream we did. I think the second live stream because I was commentating. I was doing a little mock play-by-play when Eddie Rosario had a walk-off single.
Yes. It wasn't mock play-by-play, Brandon.
It was real play. It was real play-by-play.
Play-by-play.
Thank you. But look at LJ. Atlanta, is off to a good start, which last year was not the case whatsoever. They just swept the Reds and swept the Royals, and well, it's not the greatest competition. It's teams that you expect them to beat, especially after losing 3 out of 4 to San Diego. And you could have argued they should have lost that game that I was just talking about. So this is a big series, big stretch coming up for Atlanta LJs. They've got 3 in San Diego. One of them tonight, right after it'll be after we upload this, that game will be in progress. Then 3 at home versus Houston. They got 4 versus the Marlins, and then they go to New York, to Queens to play the Mets. So really big stretch for them to end this month, and really interested to see what they're doing. Ronald Acuna is the number 1 player in fantasy baseball right now. He's been putting up tremendous stats, and the Braves are a well-oiled machine.
That's okay.
Sorry.
I said sometimes against me, but that's okay.
Oh, yes. Of course. The average 45-point week from him, I'm sure, or something.
It's not always fun, but you're right. This is a big opportunity for the Braves here, just because, yes, record's great. It's great that they've gotten off to a good start, but record ultimately means, nothing at this point in the year. Very infrequently are we actually going to look at the early season results and say this came back to bite them. Realistically, this is about positioning and figuring out what your team is, who your team is. And so I look less at record and more at quality of performance. And I struggle to find games where they haven't had quality throughout this. We're talking about plus 24 run differential, which I believe is second in the NL and might be second in the entire league. Yes, third in the entire league, excuse me. Fourth, I forgot about Tampa. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was that bad. Plus 72 runs is insane. But still, that's a top 5 performance so far. They're going into top teams. I don't care if they go 5-5 through here. They look good. They keep things convincing. That's going to do really well for them going throughout the rest of the stretch of this season. As for my hot team here, let's go with the Cubbies. Chicago Cubs, 7-3 in their last 10, gets them to an 8-6 record to start things off here. And overall, I feel like it's been a convincing performance towards the overall competence of their team. Obviously, you've got the, kind of resurgence of a guy here in Marcus Stroman, who has really, been lights out to start the year for the most part, and could be a huge piece, everything that they wanted and more. 18 innings, a 1 ERA with 20 strikeouts to start the year. if he can continue a fraction of that pace, he is going to serve this team very, very well. But more so, it's a matter of all of these free agents that they brought in this summer, or this winter, I should say, Dansby Swanson, Cody Bellinger, Trey Mancini, all these guys adding in, they are clearly showing that they've put together a roster that's going to be able to compete in a very up and down and all constantly wild NL Central, to the point where they honestly, it's only a couple weeks in, kind of have me convinced on the division.
Wow.
We're not convinced that they're going to win it, but they're convinced that they're in it. Yeah. I didn't think I'd be saying that 2 weeks ago.
Certainly. And how about Cody Bellinger, LJ, with the homer yesterday versus the Dodgers? He's a very polarizing player, and is between him and Javier Baez, I'm not sure who has a worse approach at the plate, but big home run in LA for him. And LJ, I want to say it's 3 straight series wins for the Cubs now, which quite impressive.
I believe it is, yes.
Well, LJ, so the Cubs are hot for you. Do you want me to say who's not, or would you rather?
You are welcome to say who's not, but I've got mine pretty locked up.
LJ, I'm going with a player for who's not hot. Alek Manoah is not doing good right now.
Alek Manoah is an Alek Manoah. Just now.
Here is how he ranks. This is a tweet from @YankeeWRLD on Twitter. This is from yesterday. Alek Manoah's ranks among 76 qualified starters. Okay. Fangraphs WAR. He has negative 0.3. That puts him 74th out of 76. ERA 6.98 puts him 72nd out of 76. FIP 7.04, 73rd out of 76. Walk percentage, a baffling 15.5% walk percentage, LJ.
Those are like Dylan Cease numbers.
Second last, 75th out of 76th. So LJ, if he's
more control issues than a high school girlfriend.
And then strikeout percentage, 16.5%. That puts him 68th out of 76 qualified starters. LJ, he doesn't have that dog in him, to say the least.
No, there's not a lot. There's not a lot of woofing. Honestly, there's Manoah woofing.
And it's not much better as Kevin Gausman tonight gave up 7 runs in the first inning. So Blue Jays pitching staff not hot. Not hot right now.
Not hot